What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another simulator video in the backyard. We've got the Garmin Approach R10, as always, doing a subscriber requested course. This one comes courtesy of Kobe Jordan. The username is on YouTube. This course that you're seeing is Winter Pines in Winter Park, Florida, I believe it is. 18-hole course that he or she, whoever Kobe Jordan is, requested. So shout out to you and appreciate the suggestion or request. Like I mentioned, as always, Garmin Approach R10 behind me as the launch monitor. Home Tee Hero that you're seeing on the screen within the Garmin app, that's the simulator software. Country Club Elite mat into the ground and some 10x7 nets. Just quickly before we get started, haven't played in a couple days, so back wise for the swing it's actually feeling pretty good, and it's pretty hot and humid. But I've been putting out some shorts lately, YouTube shorts, if you guys have noticed. So when I was doing that, I realized pretty much across the board, but mainly I could notice with driver, it seemed like I was, instead of rotating, I was swaying, and I sway more. So basically that means shifting my weight laterally versus more rotating with the hips. I know that's not ideal, so I've figured out a few ways. I looked up some ways to correct it. I'm not a huge fan of super technical advice of having the toe of the club facing one way with extension and polar deviation and all different kinds of complex stuff. I just think I'm not trying to make any huge drastic changes, just get a little more rotation, a little less sway. So when I was doing some warm-up swings, I hit about 25 9-irons before, which is a little more than I usually do. One, because I haven't played in a few days, and two, I just kind of wanted to test this out. I haven't hit driver yet, but for me, the feel is just staying kind of down and just rotating and bending my left knee a little bit more. That should prevent me from swaying and help a little more rotation with the hips. From the few 9-irons I hit, I feel like I can get more power out of it. That could just because it's hot and humid out here and I'm swinging a little bit quicker, especially because my back feels fresh from not playing. But I think that's the direction I need to go. Basically that came to be because around a year ago I saw a couple different angles of Phil Mickelson's driver swing, and I was pretty impressed of how he was able to gain so much distance. And from what I was seeing on a few different angles, it looks like when he takes, or at least he used to, I'm not sure if he still does, it looked like when he would start his backswing to bring his driver back, he would almost sit back into it. And from my opinion and what I felt, it felt like I was trying to duplicate that and basically get more of my body weight and momentum back and through the ball, which one, probably caused more sway, and two, I probably had some natural sway in my swing already, especially with the driver, which kind of exacerbated it. So we're gonna try to correct that a little bit. Again, not trying to make any huge, crazy, drastic changes, just you guys heard me with my knuckles. I'm doing that, trying to be a little more upright, a little bit better posture with kind of my butt out and kind of core tight, a little more upright, and now just trying to get a little more bend, slower backswing and a little more bend in my left knee. So if you see, I'm sure I'm gonna hit some kind of crazy shots, especially with driver, with that little swing thought. If you guys know, and if you've tried any kind of swing corrections, it feels a lot more drastic and a lot more of a change than it probably looks. You guys might not even notice a difference, but for me, even just the slightest bit more of bend in my knee, I'll probably feel like I'm almost like this, although I'm not. But anyways, we're gonna get into it on the first hole here. We've got a par 4, looks pretty straight. This is in Florida, like I mentioned, so we got some palm trees here. Looks pretty straight. I'm gonna go ahead and aim out that way. I'm thinking with a little bit less sway and some more rotation, I should be able to get a little bit more power, especially on my driver. It's not as big of a deal from what I noticed with my iron shots. Not as much of a big wide backswing compared to driver with that. So plus a little more narrow stance, it didn't seem like I swayed as much. But with the driver swing, I was really coming back lateral, probably way more than I should, which is probably leading to some inconsistent shots. But I'm thinking with more rotation, I can fire my hips a little bit quicker, hopefully gain some distance once I do this for a few weeks and kind of become second nature. So that's what I have for swing thoughts. You guys will see. I hit some, I missed on the range when I was doing it with the 9-iron was really thin. I actually hit a couple 9-irons, 180 and 190 yards. There was only a few, but you could see that with some of these shots. I might hit some that are real thin and low, but it is what it is when you're trying to make a swing change. So here we go. Hung that out to the right. Decent contact though. Alright, we're in a bunch of palm trees. So, we're, I think, in front of these two. I think we should have a decent shot. We might catch some of these palm leaves or whatever you want to call them on the way up, but we've got 101 yards plus another 10%, which we're going to be right around 111. I think I'm going to go choke down pitching wedge just to get something a little more conservative and in play, hopefully at the green a little bit. Again, just my swing thoughts, especially for irons. I want to play it a little further back. It's going to feel like the back of my foot, which it's not. It's just going to be more of the middle of my stance versus I've had a pretty bad habit, or at least just a habit of playing it towards my front. So a little more towards the middle, if not back, with the higher irons. A little more of a stronger grip, seeing both of my knuckles, the two knuckles on my left hand, better posture, and then again, just a little bit of a more bend in the left knee. So 111 yards, to see what happens here. And that was my miss that I was doing on the range. That's really thin and probably going to be long if we don't catch some of those trees. As to be expected, contact's going to suffer a little bit when you're making a swing change, but alright, 18 yards. Plus we're in the rough, so we need, call it another 1 or 2, right around 20. I'm going to go 60 degree. I might start to, if I get frustrated and start hitting some pretty bad shots, I might abandon it a little bit, but even just that little bit of a swing thought, my thinking process is it'll slowly work its way into building that habit into my swing, even if I'm not making super drastic changes with my knees and whatnot. Kind of pop that up to the left. It's not going to be terrible, but grab some Gatorade quick. That was a +1. All right, second hole, par 4. Squeaked out a par on that first one, despite that poor pitching wedge shot. 287. We're hitting down 1. We've got a little bit water over there on the left side and long, so we're gonna aim just slightly right there. See if we can make some good contact with the driver here. A little bit low, but that was hit decent. It's probably going to turn over towards the left, so hopefully we're not anywhere near the water. Hit that pretty good, really good. And as expected, I think with that more rotation, the way I think of it is basically when you bend back a spring, we'll take that bird all day. That was one of the better drives we've hit lately. For the hip rotation part of it, from what I understand, is I think of it as kind of loading up and pulling back a spring and creating that torque, so when you come through, the more rotation you get, you can really fire those hips and generate a lot more power. At least that's my initial feeling and thoughts. So, third hole, par 4. See if we can do the same thing here. We're not going to be able to get this one there with 358. I just felt like for a while now, I felt like the kind of bringing my body weight through it, and the momentum helped a little bit. I was getting a little more on the ball when I first started doing it, but I would say for the past maybe 6-8 months or so, basically my swing speed's not super slow. I'm not no Bryson DeChambeau or Ryan, what's his name, Kyle Berkshire, but my swing speed's up there, so I feel like my distances, especially with my driver, were lacking a little bit. Contact has a lot to do with it, but hopefully this little bit of a change with the hips and the more rotation will help some of that. Get closer to 300 kind of stock driver swing versus 275-ish. Pulled that one right. Hopefully it comes back a little. Or pushed it right, rather. Same thing. Again, hot and humid out here. Got a sweat going from all those 9 irons I hit. Plus my back is fresh from not playing, so that's contributing to some of the longer distance you're seeing too with these first few drives, but I also think it does help with the rotation. Anyways, so we got 81, plus maybe another 10%, so call it another 8-9 yards. We're looking right around 90. I think I'm gonna go 52 degree. I don't really have any complaints about distance-wise with my irons. I feel like I hit them far enough for me. It's more so the driver, so I might dial back some of that swing thought with the bending in the knee just a little bit with the irons for a little more stability, and kind of just slowly work into that more so than making the and make more of a bigger change with the driver. But that could all change. Pop that up into the left. That might be short or long. Gotta focus on some of the shots here. I don't know, I said 88, 89, 90 yards, and I walked up there, and as I was hitting that, I realized that after I hit it, I was swinging towards 100, which that was closer to, but not the shot we needed. So we got 12 yards plus another 1 or 2. We need around 13, 14. I'm gonna go 50 or 60 rather. Should be decent there. That was straight. We'll take that. I messed up that. Kind of gave back a stroke with that. Hitting to the wrong yardage with my 52, but we'll take that. 4th hole, par 3. We've got 153 down 1. So usually on course my 9 irons about 155, 160. I think I'm just going to take a little bit off of this. Do a nice smooth 9. Get just a hair more bend in that left knee. See what happens. It was a bit thin, and I pushed it right. At least to start. Looks like it came back a little bit. We'll take that though. Fifth hole, par 4. So we got the stream all the way up on the left. We got trees on the right, and then we got a big looking, or bigger looking pond thing up to the right. So I think I'm gonna aim up towards the right side of this fairway, just in case we really overdraw one to the left. Same swing thoughts here. Try to make just good contact. And I'm hoping, I feel like for some of these drivers, especially out here, I do it sometimes on course too, but not as many repercussions here. The worst thing that happens is I hit it, either I pop it up and hit it over the net, so I kind of go at it a little more here. I'm hoping with the more rotation, kind of more torque with my driver swing, I can actually swing a tad slower and a tad smoother and even get more distance out of it, which would be pretty nice. I popped that one up. It's gonna be relatively straight, come back left a little bit, but definitely didn't get all of that one. Or right. We'll take that though. 259, 260 for a pop-up miss hit. Seems like I'm generating some more power, which is nice. 134, plus we're in the rough, so we'll need another, call it 14. So we're looking at 144, 148. Almost the same shot again as that par 3, so take off a little bit of this 9-iron. Caught it a tad heavy. Relatively straight, decent contact, but yeah, it's a little bit short. All right, we're in the fairway, so no shortage. We got 13. See if we can get a nice little 60-degree up there again. That one kind of climbed up, spun off a lot of the grooves that popped up. It's not gonna be terrible, but and as I've mentioned before, I've never had a lesson, so I do kind of enjoy, it takes a little bit longer, but I do enjoy kind of looking at my swing slowly and kind of figuring out what I think needs to be done based on what other people are doing and what I can notice in my own swing. It does help when you're recording a lot of the swings so you can get a better feel for it. I feel like my swing's been able to improve a good amount since I've been recording some of these videos. Just get a lot more swings on footage, but yeah, I've never had a like a swing coach or even a lesson, so a lot of this stuff is just trial and error. We'll see. Maybe this is completely wrong thing that I'm trying to do with my rotation. I can't imagine more rotation in the hips is a bad thing versus swaying, but you never know. 6th hole, par 4. We gotta carry this water. Pretty tight fairway up here, so we're gonna aim right about there. See what happens. Pretty far right again. That was a miss hit. Might get it to work out though. I'll probably have to come out here, and obviously this is the first day that I've literally just tried doing this. Probably gonna have to come out here. I may record it, I may not. Just do some driving range sessions and see. Off the bat, it feels like my swing speed is either the same, might even be a little bit lower with the driver, but it feels like the ball speed, it's coming off, ball speed is up, so it's coming off the club a little bit quicker, which is probably contributing to some of this added distance that I'm seeing so far. So we got this tree, we might still clip it, might aim a little bit further right about there. We've got 50 yards, plus we need another, call it 5 or 6. So we're looking at 55, 56 because we're in the rough. We're gonna go 52 degree. Kind of pop that up. Hopefully it works out. I mean, I guess time will tell once I edit this video, but I'm hoping that, I feel like my swing's definitely, I'm not on tour for a reason, so it's definitely not that great, but I don't feel like it's super hideous. Hopefully this little bit of extra turn with my knee isn't making it look super horrendous. 7th hole, par 5. We're still even, luckily. We're gonna aim right about there. Actually, we're gonna aim a little bit that way. We've been kind of pushing stuff to the right, so. That was off the heel and towards the right again. Lower too. All right, we got trees to mess with. We got a little bit of an opening there. So we've got 197 plus, call it another 20 because we're in the rough. So looking right around 117 or 217 rather, 220-ish. I think I'm gonna go 5 hybrid. Hopefully, I don't get super high launches on this, but I'm thinking hopefully get it high enough to where I'm at least through those trees. It might take some of it off of it, but usually on course I play this to about 220-ish, 230-ish, so hopefully this gets it within the ballpark here. Ball moved on the mat. Ah, that was low. Made it through though. Got lucky on that one. We'll take it though. And grab some Gatorade. Squeaked out a birdie. All right, 8th hole, par 3, 154. So we're gonna aim, we got a bunch of water, especially on the left. We're gonna aim just a tad right. Gonna go smooth 9-iron. Pulled it a little bit left and popped it up. It's going to be a little short left, but ooh, I'll take that all day. It's actually a little better than I thought. It actually almost went in. Haven't had a hole in one yet. That would have been cool. All right, 9th hole, par 5. Looks relatively straight. Not a whole lot of trees, which we like. More of an open fairway here, and by the looks of it, no water to worry about, so got kind of a green light here with the driver at least. I'm gonna try to keep this one, ideally not have it slice and or fade a whole lot to the right, but I'm gonna try to start this one a little bit further left and also see if I can just put a little bit of draw on it. A little right to left spin here. Oh, that was definitely left. That was a terrible swing. Super low on the face. 238 though. feel like it barely got off the ground. So we got a little bit of this tree to mess with. 232 to the hole, plus we'll need another, we'll call it 25 yards, 20-25, so that'll be 252, 257-ish. Gonna go 3 hybrid. If we hit one good here, we should get relatively close. Hit that one pretty good. Started left, probably gonna go a little bit towards the right. We'll take that. That was a good 255-ish off the deck with the 3, so we squeak out another bird. Shout out Kobe Jordan. I'm liking this course so far. Helps when you play well, but alright, 10th hole, par 4, dogleg left. We got a bunch of water, or at least that stream, all the way up the right side of this hole. So I'm going to aim even a little bit further. We might catch that tree on the left, but aim for that left side of the fairway. 250, we should have room if we hit it long. I'm going to go a little bit further that way. Kind of same thing, club twisted a little bit. That was low and to the left off the heel. You might be messing with those trees, unfortunately. Didn't see what happened. I have a feeling we caught those and it slowed it down, but we've got a clear look into the screen. 108 plus the 10%, so we're looking right around 120. It's gonna be choke down pitching wedge. 120 for me on course, if I go that route, is right around a full 52. But as I've mentioned in other videos, I always in the back of my head when I'm taking a full swing with something like a 52, always that worry in the back of my head, if I hit it a little bit thin, it's going to be 20 yards long if I skull it. So I'd rather just take a little bit off of the pitching wedge and hit that. Usually around 100 or in, I'll go 52. Started right, I kind of pushed that, popped it up a little bit as well, but it worked out. th hole, par 4. We got that stream again on the right. We've got a tree hanging out in the fairway on that left side. So we're gonna aim just to the right of it up there. Looks like a good line to me. Give us a little bit of room left and right, because everyone knows, as well as I know, rarely do I hit it dead straight where I want. I was watching some videos when I figured out, I kind of knew in the back of my head, I was actually, like what I was saying about the Phil Mickelson thing, I was kind of purposely doing it with the swing, but past few days I looked up some videos of how to fix swing and add more rotation, and you get all kinds of videos with like a ball up against the wall, keeping the ball there, and stuff with the width of your backswing and everything else. Again, I'm not a huge fan of that super granular technical stuff that you have to do with have 10 different things to try to think about while you're trying to swing to fix one thing. So seemed like just a little bit more bend in the knee is going to be able to do it, I would think, or at least that's a good starting point, and then we'll adjust accordingly in a few weeks if that seems to look a little bit better on camera, and fix some things with the swing. That was hit decent, started right. Hopefully it comes back a little. I'm not sure it will. No, it is. Definitely getting some more distance on it. Again, could be because it's kind of hot and humid out here. Probably more so even than that is the fact that I haven't played in, I think, 4 days, so my back swing-wise is feeling better than it has when I play multiple days in a row. But that was 298, I believe it was, so right around 300. We'll take that all day. 36, no shortage. I think I'm gonna go 56 degree here. Hopefully get something on the green. Inside that +1 would be nice for a bird, but if we get it anywhere on the green, it should be a par. Hit behind it, kind of popped it up. Should be on the green, but that wasn't what I was trying to do. We'll take that. It should be a bird, I believe. I apologize if you want to just kind of see me play and shut up and not talk a whole lot, especially about the swing changes, but this is literally the first day I've even tried to do it. I had no idea if this was going to work or if I would come out here and be shanking every single shot, so kind of happy so far of how it's been going. In the future, I'm sure in the other videos I'll mention it a little bit, but this is the main kind of change day for the swing, at least for that little bit of it. So after that, hopefully I don't even think about it a whole lot. It just becomes second nature, like I was saying. So we're somehow 4 under. We'll take that, but see if we can keep this going for the next few holes. 220, par 3, 12th hole. I think I'm gonna go 5 hybrid. If we're really pure one here, it's gonna be anywhere from 10-ish, maybe even 15 yards long if we really hit one good. But I'm thinking usually that doesn't happen completely, so even with the slight miss hit here, either a little bit fat or a little bit thin, a little bit low, etc., should be relatively close. Decent contact, hung it out to the right, or at least started that way. It's probably gonna be right side of the green if anything, and it is. Pin high though, just right. Unfortunately, we're gonna probably have to chip that. We've got 14 yards, no slope, plus the 10%, so we're looking right around 15, 16 yards here. Gonna go 60 degree. See if we can get it with that inner circle to save par. On the green will be a bogey. Should be decent. Just a tad left. Yeah, I popped it up a little bit. I probably flew a little longer than I would want it to, but gonna drop a stroke there. That's gonna be a bogey. Can't be too mad though when you're in those red numbers, so I believe we're still, let's check here in a second. Yeah, we're still 3 under, so gave one back there, it's alright. 13 par 4, looks pretty straight. A little more trees right than left. We're gonna aim right about there. If we hit one good, we should just have maybe a short 52 in. We'll see. As I've mentioned, you guys may have seen, they don't happen a whole lot, but on course I do get some drives when I really hit one good. Between, I don't really know the slope of it into the fairway and whatnot and with the wind as I do here, but I definitely get some close to, if not a little bit over, 300 yards, sometimes like 305, 310. It'd be nice with this swing change and just kind of improving if we start getting closer to that 300 mark on here for more of the drives. Struck it decent, but I hung that pretty far right. I'm probably gonna be messing with those trees. .287 though, with a not so great hit, kind of a slice push, more of a slice than a push fade, but I think we're clear of these trees. So we've got 67 up 1. This is gonna die a little bit. Wish it was 1 more yard, but this is going to die a little bit when it hits. Plus we need the 10% because we're in the rough. So 68 plus another, call it 6 or 7. We're looking at 75-ish. We're going to go 52. It's going to be about a 3/4 52. Caught that really heavy. It's probably gonna be short left, at least started left. That might be a +3, unfortunately. Giving back strokes here at the end. We started off good. Hopefully we can get another bird or two here. 14th hole, par 3. 147. It's going to be kind of similar 9-iron shot. Choke down about ½ an inch or so. Get a decent smooth swing on it. Struck it decent. Felt like I let up a little bit on it, but ooh, it's another one we put pretty close. I knew it was going to at least be decent because it was straight, but that almost went in the hole again. I feel like we're getting close here. That might be a good sign. Could have a Eric Anders Lang ace cam coming up here on one of these par 3s. We've got another one. 15th hole, par 3. 220 down 2, so we're looking at 218. It's going to roll out a little bit once it hits. I'm going to go same thing, 5 hybrid. Wasn't terrible. My right foot slipped out on that one. It's gonna be right. Whew, we're getting lucky here today. Probably a good thing my foot slipped on that. If we caught all that, that would have been off the back. All right, another par 3. 16th hole. 160 on the dot. So this should be pretty much a full 9-iron here. Again, usually play this on course, 155, 160. May just come up a little bit short depending on how we hit it towards the front of the green. Can't imagine it's going to be a whole lot long. Less than 5 yards if anything, if we hit it a little bit thin. Felt myself sway on that one more than rotate. Hung it out to the right. Not a great swing there. +3. 2 holes left. All right, another par 3. What is this? Let's just turn into a par 3 course on the back 9. 215. And this is where it gets tricky. I should hit a 4-iron. I could hit a 5 and come up 15-ish yards short. I could hit the 5 hybrid and most likely be long. There is a lot of room back there, so I think I'm going to go 5 hybrid, choke down probably about an inch or so on the club. Decent contact, kind of low and to the right. Hopefully it's not too long, and it is. Long right. That one felt a little funny. Some of the swings felt pretty good with, honestly better than they did before, with the left knee bend and turn. That one felt a little awkward. So we got 15 yards, no slope. Luckily, I've been kind of looking and glancing. The wind hasn't been an issue today. Sometimes that gets glitchy and turns on even though when I have it off. But we've got 15 plus another call at 1 or 2, so we're looking around 16, 17. Pulled it left, maybe a little long. Should be a par though, I believe. Bogey, never mind. Par 3, that's right, I was thinking that was a par 4. All right, finally a par 4. 18, didn't get a hole in one. Not gonna get a hole in one here from 333, so I'll have to try to do it on another video. I gave back some strokes here. We're 2 under going into 18. We've got a slight dog leg left. We got water there in the front. Shouldn't have an issue, hopefully, with that. We're gonna aim right about there. Final driver swing. Hopefully get a decent strike on this. Ended on a good note. Pretty happy so far with the ones that you've seen. This has been the most consistent round, I think, with the drives, right around 300-ish, or closer to it at least. To the right again. That's been the miss so far. Luckily, we haven't had really too many. We've been slicing them all to the right, but good contact again. 289 for a slice to the right. Haven't had, I don't know if we've had any that were super popped up and real short. Luckily, that's been the miss as of late. So all in all, I'll take it. Definitely a lot of room to improve, but better than it has been. So let's see if we can finish this off here. I think we're clear of the trees. I think we're just in front of that one. It gets like transparent when you're right around it, so it gets sometimes tough to see. But we've got 55 down 1, so it's going to roll out just a little bit when it hits. Plus we need the 10%, so we're at 54. Call that another 5 or 6. We're right around 60 yards or so. I'm going to go 52. Struck it decent, hopefully that's not too long. Tad long, tad left, but I'll take that. And we end off with a par. So, honestly pretty happy about that. It usually doesn't happen too much. Lately, you've seen most of the time. It's either kind of a so-so round, or if anything, it's a not so hot round. This one is actually pretty good, I'll take that. Although the fairway numbers were down a lot because we pulled everything, almost everything to the right, but we got a lot more distance on them. So only 1 out of 11 fairways, not great. But from Winter Pines Golf Course in Winter Park, Florida, again courtesy of Kobe Jordan on YouTube, shout out to you for the suggestion and recommendation. Not sure if they said this was their home course or not, I can't remember. If you guys give me some details with the recommendations, I can write some of those down, some of that information down, and kind of relay it in the video. But we ended up with a 2 under 65, so we went 33 and then 32 on the back. Pretty good, honestly, we'll take that. Again, fairways were real low. Hit the driver better, kind of ironically, but only 1 out of 11. We want to be at least 5 or 6 out of 11. Greens regulation, we'll take that number all day. 13 out of 18, that's well above 50%, closer to, I think, probably 75%, which is pretty good. 31 putts, not too bad. It's a little high, closer to the 2 putts a hole versus 1.5 where we ideally want to be. But I mean, 32, 33, we had a good amount of birds. Some of those were lucky. Put some pretty close to the hole, which we'll take all day. I don't think we had a chip in that I recall, but relatively clean scorecard, at least for me. The front, we only had 1 bogey. The back, we had 4 bogeys, a little bit worse, but all those other pars and birdies helped out. So that's all I have today. Again, Kobe Jordan, I appreciate the suggestion. If any of you out there that are watching this and have made it through thus far, let me know what you think about my little swing change with my left knee bend. Maybe that's completely backwards and I shouldn't be doing that. I should go back to what I was doing before. Could very well be the case, but that's what happens when you kind of experiment, change your swing based on what you think you should be doing. So so far so good, I suppose. 5 years playing, it's not horrendous, but you can always get better. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next course.